Okay, so I'm just now getting to the store. So just so you know, this can very well happen. If you take too long to get to the store, you'll get like a little notification that will tell you to please start your batch or move to an area with better reception, because it's thinking that maybe you don't have, good phone reception or whatever. So just be mindful of that, how long it takes you to get to the store. You're going to Aldi, make sure you have a quarter. I personally, it's easy to get through Aldi, but it's a little confusing at the same time. Okay. And you see the first thing that they need. One, it is sorting by fastest route. So starting by fastest route. And then your snacks. So let's find snacks. I personally like to just take a second to slide somewhere and go through and see exactly what it is that they need. Sometimes it's just not always convenient to go by the list, is what I'm saying, depending on what store that you actually shop at. So, okay. They actually do have bread, and their bread is over here. Okay. So here's one of the items, Loaven fresh bread. There that is. You want to hit found item. Hopefully I'm getting this. It'll pull up the camera. And then scan your barcode. You can see that I now have one done. And we've got 37 more to go. So let's keep going. So she's got a thing of crackers on here that were back at the front. So again, you just want to I was vlogging obviously, so I wasn't paying attention, but that is at the top of my list. So I technically should have picked those up as I was going, but I was talking. So just take note of that. I know my screen is filthy, but I can't get it all the best clean right now. Sorry. There is one thing on her list that I don't see. I don't see those. She's got a replacement. She selected that, so I'll see if I can't find those, but ultimately I'll ask if I can't, so we'll check. But I'm just going to go ahead and keep shopping and come back around so I don't lose too much time. Go ahead and get my eggs. Those look pretty good. And here's the salads that I was looking for. So I can go back to those on the list, wherever those are. Where are they at? There it is. Produce, which it is not over in the produce, I guess. However, they have this thing broken the fuck down. This is not what I consider produce, but whatever. My screen. I passed that. I gotta go back and get that. But those are to my left, and I gotta find that. So I'm going to scan one that's wrong and show you what happens. I'm going to scan that one. And that's what it looks like. So it will stop you to try to help you out. Oh. See, I'm not even paying attention. Okay, she has a replacement if that's not available. The blue one, this one. Which it will take that. So just put that in. Okay, so I've looked all over for that Fresco and I cannot find it. So I personally don't like to just replace items with what I think that they'll like, because I don't know what half of the shit is. So me personally, I will just go ahead and hit can't find item, go down to none of these work, I can't find a replacement, and refund the item and choose one of the reasons. I always choose that there are no adequate replacements. It will notify the customer that you've replaced it or that you've refunded that item, and if they want something different or if they've got something else in mind that they want, then they'll message me and they'll let me know, hey, try to look at this or look for this, and then that's what I'll do. But other than that, I'm not just gonna choose something that I think that they'll want. Moving along, we're over by the beverages. They do have some, so we'll find those out. They've got water, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab those. Okay, so let me show you an example of what just happened. Well, I probably can't now, but anyway, this spring water is exactly what I'm looking at, and it said that that was not correct. So all I did was I force marked as found. So it may let me take me back through that process. Scan it. It says that that's not correct. Again, what the item is requested is clearly the 24 pack. Again, of the water that we're looking at, that we're standing right in front of. So whatever beef that they have on the system with that is not your issue. You can always go in and hit found item and it will say force marked as found. It says that back behind there where it says barcode doesn't scan. And sometimes if it's produce, it's going to be a pain in the ass. I'm going to tell you that right now. But if it's something simple like this where you can just take a photo and it will suffice, let's be happy. All is good in the world. And it will take it as found and you can move on. Okay, so I just wanted to kind of get on here and show you, walk you through the app a little bit. Just what to expect whenever you first log on. You're gonna want to go ahead and pull up your app, and this is what it will look like. And then we'll go ahead and load your map. So initially, this is what you see. And sometimes whenever you log on, the first thing you'll do is get a batch. So don't be thrown off by that or shocked by that. These little red dots here are your heat map, and I just got that by clicking that little thing right here with the little question mark over it. And it tells you how to use this. It says that it shows real-time orders that are available. So it encourages you to head over to a hotspot. I do not, however, encourage you to head over to a hotspot. Just because you are around the area or in the area does not mean that it is necessarily jumping. And it very well may be jumping for orders. There may very well be a whole bunch of orders. However, this works as a queue, which I don't know if anybody is familiar with how a call center queue works, but as orders are placed, you have shoppers sitting and available ready for those orders. So that's how that works. You see, I'm at home actually, and I'm all the way over here, but when I first log on in the morning, I could have to go to a store somewhere down here. So it doesn't necessarily matter where you are, but if it is a busy day and there, are a whole bunch of orders, then 9 times out of 10 you probably won't even get a chance to see your map if you're getting back-to-back orders. So just to kind of explain that there, again, if you're in the area and you don't care to go through, sit and wait and see what you get, or just to try what the hotspot area looks like, or what have you, then feel free to do that if that's what you want to do. But again, I do not encourage doing that. I think that's actually a waste of time. This is that's your dashboard. This is kind of what everything looks like. It'll down here it says that you can take a 20-minute break. I think that's only if you work so many hours. That's not always available. And just so you know, as far as your hours, you have to work 2-hour intervals, just in case you're not familiar with that, or just in case you don't know that. That's how that works. So here's your current orders. So while you're on shift, just in case, like if anything happens and you get out of your app or something like that and you're trying to get back to your order, you can go to current orders and it'll show your orders right here. So you don't have to freak out about clicking out of the app or something like weird like that happens, then don't worry about it. Demo orders, that has never worked for me since I've started with Instacart, so I honestly can't even tell you that, but you got your messages, your help. How am I doing? This is kind of like your little stat board, and it shows like all the little neat things that it kind of breaks off into. There's your total speed. And I have a batch. So this is what it looks like whenever you get a batch. And unfortunately, I am off the clock in the next 30 minutes. My shift is done at 12. I'm glad that this is doing this, and I'm glad that this is a small batch because I want to be able to explain this to you guys. So first, you have 3 minutes. You have about 3 minutes to accept. You see your earnings estimate right there, what you could make or what you potentially will make based off of this order. Now, you see that this says a 1 full service order with 6 items and 8 units. 6 items meaning 6 actual items, 8 meaning that they're going to double up on however many of those that they have, or triple up, as a matter of fact. I want to kind of explain to you the real side of this, okay? So you see I've been sitting here for a few minutes now, for about 4 minutes, and I didn't get anything. I've been actually sitting and available for the last 20 minutes, and I didn't get the turtle. Look out for the turtle. Sometimes it will say, you can leave early without penalty, that type of thing. I'm not going to accept this order, and I'm going to tell you why. One, I am very far from this store. I know where this store is. It's on the other side of town for me. I'm not going to do that for 6 items. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's $10. It's $10+, and this is my second job. So this is not my primary job. I don't have to take every opportunity that comes to me, and sometimes, guys, it's just not worth it. I just want to be 100% honest. For you to drive across town for $10, you're probably going to spend that in gas. So you're probably doing this order pretty much for free. So I just want to throw that out there. This is not convenient for me to take this batch. So you have the option to either you have the option to either let your time run out, or you can hit no thanks up here in the corner and it'll say batch skipped to help us improve. And here are your options. The driving distance can be too long, the batch can be too large, unfavorable delivery location. If there's any place that you're uncomfortable with, if there's a side of town that you're not comfortable with, you can do that. Now, you see what happened. I didn't hit anything, but the system went ahead and booted me off. So one, that is taking into consideration, this will happen because I have less than 30 minutes left on my shift. 9 times out of 10, one, I didn't accept, I still had time left to accept that order. So it wasn't that I took too long, but I hit no thanks. So I think that the system will just automatically, assume that, you've got less than that time. You probably need to be off by whatever time or what have you. So go ahead and it'll go ahead and log you out. So there's no penalty for that. It actually makes sense. Like I said, I'm not going to be able to take that anyway. It wasn't worth the time. So that's something that you just kind of have to look at whenever you're doing Instacart, depending on what reason that you're doing it for. If this is your primary job and you have to hop on every batch that you get, by all means necessary, do that. I mean, that's your prerogative. You do that. But this is my side job. This is not money that I absolutely have to have. I'm going to think of this kind of strategically as I do this, because there are some things that are not worth my time and some things that are just not worth the money. Just think about that. Be mindful of that as you move forward with doing your batches. I'm going to say that my shift was okay, and it will give you what happened. A whole bunch of options here. I'm going to mark nothing. There wasn't anything wrong that happened necessarily. I will hit that the driving distances were too long though for that last batch, but just to put that, just to be honest. And this is what will happen. It'll say amazing shift, and it'll say, if you were any slower or faster than your average, There's the average, or my average anyways, or the zone average, I'm sorry, is 76 seconds, and I only had 2 batches, so take into consideration that as well. They didn't take me too long. But anyway, so this is your how I'm doing. You've got your top speeds. It's got the list of the shoppers that are in your area and where they are. Your speed data as well. So this will break it down to every store that you've been to, what your shopping speed was, what your checkout speed was, and the total speed between all of that. It's a percentage. So that's pretty much all that is, and it gives you speed tips. Into customer feedback. Let's go in here. I'm at 100%. That is literally over time. This is going to fluctuate whenever you first start, so you will see that fluctuate. Let me explain these to you guys. Okay, so the first thing that you'll see is recently reported issues. There are 5, I think. You can get poor service, wrong item, damaged item, poor replacement, and I think missing item are the 5 that the customer has to choose from. These do not hurt you. Okay, so let me just say that one. This is just a place for your customer to be able to give feedback. That's all that this is. Poor service, that and this one, every time I go, I get so mad whenever I see that because of what happened. But that was the customer's rating. In your batch, whenever you're delivering to the customer, if the customer is not there, if they don't answer the door, this happened to be a early morning one that was like at 8 o'clock. She had placed the order, and I got to her house and rang the doorbell. I sat there, I knocked, did all of that. There's a place on your app for you to hit customer not available, and you have to sit there for 10 minutes. And when that time runs out, you then have to call customer happiness, and they will try to call the customer and see if they can get a hold of them. If they can't, then, that whole bit. So, long story short, that's what happened that morning. That customer was inside in the shower. Her teenage son was supposed to be getting up to get the door, and that didn't happen. So she had an attitude for whatever reason. I didn't do anything. She did this. So this does not hurt you at all in any way, shape, or form. Wrong item. This also makes me mad too, because this item specifically, I know exactly what the issue was. The picture that was coming up for this item, I was picking up that item specifically, and it was telling me, no, that's not right. I force marked it as found and got that. Damaged item. I didn't notice that any of those were damaged as I was buying them. And poor replacement really makes me mad, because you think that you're going to replace an item for a customer, and you think that you're getting something that's equivalent to that will, substitute what it is that you can't get for them, obviously, to, get them something, not walk out of the store without anything, and they hit you with the poor replacement. But like I said, these metrics do not hurt you at all. This is just like a little graph that shows how often customers give you feedback. So your customers are not always going to give you feedback. So this can fluctuate. This graph will fluctuate. Sometimes you'll see one where it's going on the downside, and that's because your customers haven't been rating your order, or rating your performance. So it's got like tips there, and this is where you can see your ratings for this week. I don't have any yet, and this is delayed. It says it's delayed by 24 hours. I actually think it's delayed longer than that. But in the past 3 months, you can kind of see where you stand or where you sit, the people that have left positive messages, and just these are your 5-star customer reviews, the customers that wanted to leave you a notation about your performance. Now, reliability incidents are if you were to call out from work. It's kind of like the exact same concept. If you're not familiar, you have 6 hours before the start of your shift, to cancel your hours for that shift. So, in other words, if your start time is at 4 p.m. So you got 4, 3, 2, 1, 12, 11, 10. You've got until 10 a.m. to decide whether you're going to be available for that 4 o'clock spot. So without penalty. Now, if something happens and you have to cancel within that time frame, you'll get a reliability incident, which is not a bad thing. Whenever you get to 5, that's whenever I guess they start questioning you. I don't know. I've never been there. This is as many as I've ever had. You have 30 days, and it's 30 days of shopping. So not 30 calendar days. I don't want you to get that confused either. So that's how that works. And I believe they go one at a time. This acceptance rate, now you guys saw that I declined a batch. So this is delayed as well. This is only delayed by a few hours. So this just shows how many that you've been offered this week, how many you accepted, not acknowledged. If you decline any, that will then change, and your rate will change as well. So that fluctuates. This does not keep you from getting batches. I want to throw that out there too. Your acceptance rate, this up top will tell you that your acceptance rate is based on the percentage of batch requests that you have accepted that week. High rates don't affect your ability to get orders, but are required for some bonuses and earnings and promotions. So if they are running a promotion in your area, it will tell you that you have to maintain an 80 batch acceptance rate for you to qualify for that particular promotion. But it's not just maintaining an 80 percentage rate. It's like, I don't know, like complete 15 batches between now and next week or something like that, and maintain it an 80% rate. But there have been times where I've only had a 30%. I've been at a 0 before, actually, where the only ones that I was offered, I declined all of those. So, but then, the next day you log in, I still get batches. So, and as you get batches, that again, it fluctuates. So don't fret too much about batch acceptance rate. Next are your hours. That's going to take a bit to touch on, especially with the wait list shit. This is new. The wait list is just now getting implemented. There was nothing of a wait list. Hours were fair game. So I know that if you have early access, they drop the hours every Wednesday at 9 a.m. I don't know if that's different for anybody else, but as far as I know, that's across the board. Down here in your hours, you've got your early access, your past hours, and you can set vacation. So feel free, if you've got a vacation plan, set your vacation time. I think that that's probably more for people who take this as a full-time job. If I have a week that I need to be off, I won't, put myself on the schedule. However, that may affect your early access. Now, I'm not too familiar with early access, so I'm not going to touch base on it too much because, again, all I know is that I have it. I don't know if you have to maintain it, if you have to keep up so many hours during the week in order to keep your early access. I have absolutely no idea. And these graphs actually confuse the shit out of me. So just know that if you have early access, you can see your status for your weekend hours and your total hours here. If anybody knows how that works, feel free to comment below. Hit me up. Let me know. Teach me something because I have no idea. Here's my earnings. I don't check my earnings until about an hour after I've done my last batch. And that just gives time for everything to get back in. If you check it as you go, the last few that you've done may not show up yet. So your earnings are not 100%. But this is just what I've made so far. It's Tuesday, so I've made $50 so far. I made $24 yesterday and $26 today. My 2 batches that I did are on there. So, and again, this is why I said that this is not my full-time job. And depending on how much time that you have and what area that you're in, this may very well be something that's convenient for you to do all the time. And you could probably make some really good money off of it. But for me, my full-time job pays very well. So this extra money is just play money for me. It's just money for me to just absolutely do whatever I want to with. I've seen anywhere from the lowest amount that I've made is $50 or $57, and the most that I've made is $385. So not enough to pay my bills, but just enough to, do what I want to. And your reimbursement requests, have no idea how that works. I'm assuming that that's if you maybe forget your Instacart card and say you have a small batch and you pay for it on your own, maybe that's where that falls into place. I have no idea. I've never had to do a reimbursement request. And there's your profile and there are your settings. So that pretty much just kind of breaks down the dashboard for you. This right here, this is a food safety notification for your thermal bags or for your hot bags. They want you to have insulated bags to deliver in, which I absolutely do. The ones that I have that I emailed to get approved, they won't approve them because I bought extra large. I have 2 extra large bags versus 3 of the smaller bags that Instacart would provide you with if you were to order your bags through Instacart. There are 3 bags, insulated bags that you'll get that you can put your groceries in. I preferred, it was just a better bang for my buck to get 2 extra large bags, and I'm still able to fit so much in there, and they're still insulated. But I tried to let them know that I had insulated bags. They let me know that I didn't have enough. So my 2 bags were not sufficient enough for them, so this has not gone away. I obviously have still been able to shop. That has not been something that has hindered me from getting batches. It's convenient too, just to have, a bag that can fit several bags inside of that trip up the stairs, or, if you've got to walk up a long driveway or something, just, it makes it convenient. So this is what your dashboard looks like without your map. So it's really simple. There's not much that goes on here ever. Your hours, it shows you your shift for your next available day, which is tomorrow for me. But yeah, so that's pretty much just like a little navigation of the app and what it looks like. This is what you have to look forward to on the app. It's really user friendly for the most part. That's it. That's the gist of it.